My name is Gwen. I live in Estevan with my husband, Kevin. I have 4 grown daughters and 2 really cool grandkids.
My name is Florence, and I'm a widow. I lost my husband in 2022 after having 58 years of marriage together, so I was very fortunate for that. Well, I was a stay-at-home mom. I volunteered at the school and I also volunteered at the church because I had the time, so we did a lot of work through the parish. Also, then I got into spiritual care, visiting at the hospital at the same time.
My parents have never not served in that way. I remember going to my mom and dad's to visit, and I would plan around their weekends because they were busy at the hospital.
In the morning, we would go to the hospital at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we would meet with the chaplain there, and she would give us a list of the patients that were Catholic in the hospital. And then we'd go to the chapel and we'd pray and we'd receive communion. And then we'd go out on the wards and visit the patients that were Catholic. And we'd offer them prayer or blessing or Holy Communion. And then we would just be there for people and be a presence for people.
I first began working with pastoral care at St. John the Baptist Parish. I coordinate who's where. I make sure that if there's someone who needs a visit, someone's going. So we have 5 or 6 people that come to the hospital that are committed to that ministry. I have 5 or 6 people that are going to the nursing home as well that have designated visits. And then we have a group of people that are comfortable going into homes. So we've had people that were palliative, that were staying in their home as long as they could. We've had people that were just unable to leave due to age or physical infirmity. I think everybody wants someone to be there for them. And as you age, often you get forgotten. And in our world, we're so busy. And I think taking time to be present and really seeing people who are in care facilities I think it's just really important. I don't know how we cannot serve them. Even experiencing a senior's faith, it is the most pure prayer I've ever experienced. And just to go back and praying the Our Father with someone who's 96 and they don't miss a word and they are so sincere, and you think, man, that's what I want to look like when I believe and I'm waiting, because they are, and they'll tell you that. I had someone tell me that her angels were coming in a couple of weeks, and I said, well, no, you're not going home. And they said, no. She said, I'm going home, but my family's not taking me. And she died 2 weeks later. And it was the coolest thing because she sat up straight and she had told numerous people. And because she had dementia, I think we just all said, oh, no, you're not going home today. That's not what she meant. Dementia is an interesting journey. And I think lots of times the last thing they forget is their faith. To be generous with others requires God's hands on you. I think that for you to be fully involved with that person and present, you have to put everything else away, all the things that are in your mind or things that are worrying you, and focus. And I think focus comes from God.
The Bishop's Appeal supports a lot of ministries, one being the spiritual care ministry. The lay formation program, which I took, also is funded by the Bishop's Appeal, and as well as a visitation house and many other services.
There needs to be always someone who's looking after the lost. The Archbishop's Appeal focuses on those things.
I think it's very important for people to donate to the Archbishop's Appeal, because a lot of people, when they come into the hospital, the rural or even the city, this is their only connection with the church, and they might be, their needs are met there because we have the chaplains right in the hospital that can minister with them.
You don't really know how much you need that ministry until you're actually experiencing it. Our experience when my dad was sick was he was in a hospital in Regina at the Pasqua, and they would come daily to visit him. And I think for him, we couldn't go daily because it was there were restrictions on the wards, but he would change. His face would change when they came. So I would say that those are important things. That was my personal experience, and it totally would not be there if not for the Archbishop's Appeal. From a rural perspective, I think there's lots of things that we benefit from and we don't always know about. We're a team and it takes a village. And I think we need to remember that. And so I think the Archbishop Appeal allows us to do things together.
Thank you for donating to the Archbishop's Appeal.